What's going on, guys? You are welcome to Web Chrony Online. Thank you so much for clicking to see what I have to share with you today. If you are here for the first time, kindly subscribe to my channel, like this video if you learn a thing or two, and if you have been here already, thank you for coming back to see what I have for you. And I do hope you are learning some things from the lessons that we share every week. In the last two lessons, we learned about how to declare and manipulate objects and arrays. Today, we will look at how to handle arrays of objects. This lesson is important because most APIs serve data to our applications in this data structure. If you missed the last two lessons, I will link them in the description. Kindly check them out and come back here because the understanding of those two lessons are necessary for this lesson. This lesson will have a couple of exercises, so be ready to do some coding yourself. Kindly subscribe to my channel if you haven't, because I appreciate that a lot. It encourages me to do more. And with that being said, let's open our console and get started. Okay guys, so today, because of the nature of the data structure that we will be working with, we will use a different version of our console. So we move our cursor to this icon at the right corner and you click it. When you click it, it will split your screen into two, where we will be writing our codes here and we will be obtaining our feedback here. So for example, if I declare a variable called let me equal to me and I run here, I will obtain my feedback here. So if I call mean and I run, I will obtain my feedback here. This part of the IDE works a bit differently because every time you finish writing your code here and you run it, you need to clear everything before you can do something else. Otherwise, you will be getting some errors. So let me show you what I mean by this. So let me say I create u equal to u like this and I run it, and suppose I forgot to clear the editor and I try to call u and I run, I will get an error. Okay, so every time you are done with something, you clear it and then you do something else. But don't worry, everything that you type is still stored in memory and you can access it anytime you want. So for example, I can clear this one and I can say me plus u and run, and it will work perfectly. All right, so that is that. I will clear this place and then also clear this place. Now guys, what we are going to do is that I'm going to declare an array of users. Because of the way this data structure is, I've already declared the array of objects in a separate file. I will just go and copy and then paste it. So I will come here, I have users, so I'll copy everything from here and then I will paste it here. So if I call users like this and run, I will obtain my array of users here. We are going to arrange them in order of age, and we are going to use the sort method for this exercise. I'm sure you remember how to sort elements of an array using the sort method, because we did this in the previous content. But because in that content we were dealing with arrays of string, and today we are dealing with arrays of objects, you may need to understand that one and also open your eyes to what we are going to do here. We will use a combination of the dot notation method in accessing element of an object, and we will also use the sort method for sorting element of an array. So that combination will help us to sort the elements or the objects in the array based on their age. So don't forget, we have to clear everything from here. And let me also close this drop down. So I'll say users dot sort into bracket, and this sort method takes a callback function. This callback function will have two parameters. So the first parameter I will call A and the second one I will call B. Now I'll move out of the green parenthesis and bring my arrow, which is an equal sign and a greater than sign, and I will say A dot age like this because we are trying to sort them by age. So I'll use the dot notation to access the age key in each object. All right, I'll bring my greater than sign and I'll say B dot age like this. Okay, so if I run this and open up this, you will see that the array has been sorted, and it has been sorted in ascending order of age. So we have Ayastak 22, Targaryen 25, Sansa 28 in that order. All right, now your assignment is to sort this array based on the ID. Now don't change anything, just look at how the IDs are. If you can do the same thing, make sure some of the IDs are 3 characters and some are 4, and store it in the form of a string. Pause this video and do this exercise and come back here. Okay guys, you are welcome back. How did it go? I hope you got it right. Now let's find out. So I'll call my users and my sort method. The sort method, as you already know, takes a callback function with 2 parameters. I'll bring my arrow and I'll say A dot ID greater than B dot ID. Now if you did it like this, you will realize that you will not obtain an accurate answer, because let's run it and you will obtain the same result as you obtained if this is how you did it. So as I run it like this, you will realize that we have 1 2 2 3 1 3 2 3 1 4 5 3 2 0 1 9 7 6 1. But under normal circumstance, the 7 6 1 must come first, followed by the 9 2 3, then the rest will follow. The reason why this is happening is because JavaScript sort method takes the first characters and compare them. So if it compares the first character and the first character are the same, then it will move on to the second character. But when you look at this one, 1 is lower than 2 and 2 is lower than 7, 7 is lower than 8, 8 is lower than 9. That is how the sorting was done. Okay, so if we wish to do it in the form of ascending order as in number, then we have to find a way to convert the ID from string to number, and there is a JavaScript method called the parseInt. We use the parseInt method to convert a number that has been stored to a string back to a number. So let me show you how this thing works. So let's say I say users and I want to access the first element, which is this. So if I say dot ID, you see, and run it, you see that I'll get a number that has been stored as a string. So let me try type of into bracket this, okay, and run. You see that it is stored in the form of a string. To change this from string to number, we have to pass this as a parameter in the parseInt method. So I'll call the parseInt like this, and into bracket I'll paste this one here. Don't forget there should be a U here like this. So if I run this now, it is in the form of a number. So we use the parseInt method to convert a string to a number. Alright, so before we'll be able to achieve a successful sorting of the users array in order, we have to first of all convert the IDs from string to number, then we will do the sorting. Alright, so pause this video and do that sorting and come back here to find out what happens. Okay guys, so we will call our users dot sort method into bracket. I'll bring another bracket because the callback function takes two parameters. So I'll get my a comma b, and I'll bring my arrow like this. So I will say pass int into bracket a dot id greater than pass int into bracket b dot id, like this. So if I run this and then I expand the feedback, you see that the sorting has been done correctly. Now the 761 comes first, followed by the 923, and it follows in that order. Now your next assignment is to sort the array based on the place. You sort the array based on the place. This is an assignment you need to do, and when you do it and you are stuck, kindly comment it in the video and I'll help you come out of it. Alright guys, so we will move on to the next lesson. Okay guys, so how did the assignment go? I hope you did it right, and I hope you are practicing, and I hope you are learning a lot. Please like the video if you haven't already. I appreciate that a lot, and subscribe if you haven't. At this part of the lesson, we are moving on to the filter method, and as you learned from the previous video, we use the filter method to return an array from the array that matches the description or the instruction we give to the callback function in the filter method. So I'll call my users and bring my filter method like this. The filter method takes one parameter, and I'll call user and bring my arrow like this. So I'll say user dot, let's filter the each, and say the each that is greater than 30, like this. So if I run this code, the array that will be returned will be all the users that are above 30 years. Okay, so if I come back here and say less than 30 and run it, click here to expand, you see that it will return all the users that are less than 30 years. Okay, so this is how we do the sorting. Now your assignment is to filter the array based on the city. Okay, return all the users that are from Winterfell. Pause this video and practice, and afterwards come and check your answer with what we do. Okay guys, so how did it go? So let's do this together. I'll have my users dot filter into bracket. I'll have my user as my parameter, and I'll say user dot place equal to Winterfell. Oops, the Winterfell, don't forget it is of data type string, and to say that the user dot place is equal to Winterfell, you need to bring at least 2 or at most 3 equal signs. Okay, so I'll bring my 3 equal signs and say Winterfell. Now this will return nothing, so let me run. It will return nothing, and can you tell me why? Please post it in the comment section and let me find out whether you remember why we have people from Winterfell and still Winterfell is not showing. Alright guys, now let's go back to our array and let's take someone from Winterfell. Let's say Jon Snow, and as you can see, the Winterfell begins with a capital W, but we are saying it should be exactly equal to a small w, and because of that it will not show. And the reason is that JavaScript is very case sensitive. So Winterfell beginning with a capital W and Winterfell beginning with a small w is treated as 2 separate entities. To remedy this situation, let's try and then bring only 1 equal sign, 2 equal signs, and see what happens. When we run, still nothing happens. okay, still nothing happens because JavaScript treats these two spellings of Winterfell as separate entity. Now what can we do to remedy this situation? It is something we did in our previous lesson. So pause this video and try your hands on it, and once you are done, come back to this video to compare your result. Okay guys, so I'll clear the whole thing so that we have a feeling of it. You see, I believe in the law of repetition. The more you practice something, the more you repeat something, the more it becomes part of you. Okay, so you clear everything and do it all over again. So I have my users dot filter into bracket. I'll have my user as my parameter, and I'll say user dot place to lower case like this. Okay, then I will say equal to Winterfell like this. So if I run this code, you see that it will return all the users who are from Winterfell. So we have Jon Snow, Arya Stark, and Sansa Stark. So let's expand this one. As you can see, Winterfell here, as we can see another Winterfell here, and we can see another Winterfell here. Okay, now this is when we have fully spelled everything. How about if you want to find out if when we start typing it will begin with the filtering? Can you pause this video and do that for me? Okay guys, so how did it go? Let's do it together to find out what happens. In this case, we will not use the equal sign. Okay, we will use the dot includes method. So I'll clear everything here and say users dot filter into bracket. I'll have my user callback function like this, and I'll say user dot place dot to lowercase like this, dot includes into bracket, let's say includes WIN. So when I run this code, you see that even though I didn't spell all the Winterfell, I'm still obtaining this data like this. So as you can see, like this. Now let's come back here and try cities that have C in them. So if I run, I will get 2, which is Jaime Lannister and Tyrion Lannister. They are both from Casterly Rock like this. Okay guys, so you can practice this and try your hands on the names. Try filtering the array based on their names, and that will be your assignment. So we'll move on to the next lesson. Okay guys, you're welcome back. How did your last assignment go? I hope you are getting comfortable with the JavaScript methods on arrays of objects. In this lesson, we are looking at the forEach method. And what we use the forEach method to do is we use it to iterate over elements of an array. We will practice how to use the forEach method, and we will use the forEach method to do a couple of things. So let's begin. So I'll clear my console. I'll create a new variable called ages and assign it to an empty array. So let ages equal to empty array. Okay, so if I call ages, I get an empty array. That's exactly how I want it to be. Now I'm going to use the forEach method to fill in the array using the ages of our users. Okay, so I'll call my users dot forEach like this. forEach like this. Now the forEach method also takes a callback function, and this callback function takes one parameter. So I'll say for each user, I'm going to push their age into the array called ages. Do you remember the push method? Of course you do, because you revised the previous lesson. Great. So I'll call ages dot push into brackets user dot age, like this. So if I run this code and I call ages like this, I now have an array of ages. It will return all their ages. Okay, as you can see, it is not in order. Can you sort it in order? This is an assignment that you need to do. Your next assignment is to create an array of names, and then you push all the names from the users array to this new array called name. Okay guys, so that is how the forEach method works. Please try your hands on the exercise and let me know if you have any challenge. At this moment, we move on to the last method that I wish to discuss in this lesson, and that is the map method, coming up soon. Okay guys, so how did the assignment go? I hope you were able to work around things. At this moment, we are moving on to the map method. In this lesson, we are going to use it to modify all the elements of the array. The map method can be used to modify each element of the array. So this is very important, especially when you have created a database and you are taking some data from the users, and as time goes on you wish to take extra data. We can use the map method to add this parameter and set it to a default value, and maybe when the users perform a particular task, their status can change. Okay, so I will clear everything and I will call my users dot map like this. The map can take one or two parameters depending on what you wish to do. Okay, but at the moment I will just use the one parameter. So for each user like this, I will say user equal to, I'll bring my square bracket and spread the user like this. Okay, and I will add, let's say, status, and I will say alive. Okay, so if I run this function and I expand this, and let's say expand this, you will see that I will have status here which says alive. I'll have another one alive. I'll have another one here. Okay, now your next assignment is to use the map method to increase everybody's age by 5. Okay, increase everybody's age by 5. All the users we have, increase their age by 5. Pause this video and do this exercise, and afterwards come and compare your result here. So we will call our users dot map method. We will have our user parameter as in our callback function. I will say user equal to, I'll bring my square bracket, spread the user like this, and I'll say age and set it to user dot age plus 5 like this. So if I run this code now, it works perfectly, and when I click here, you see that all the users have extra 5 years added to their ages. Okay guys, so this is where we end the lesson for today. I appreciate your patronage. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and like this video if you learn a thing or two. My dear friends, don't rush the process. Allow the process to run smoothly. Take your time to master the fundamentals, and I promise when you build your fundamentals very strongly, the advanced stuff becomes very easy to learn. Very soon we will start building project, but I just want to make sure that you know enough fundamentals to get started with the advanced stuff. Thank you for watching this video to the very end, and I will see you in the next lesson. Peace out.